Today is Thursday, December 12th, 2024. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. My name is Hunter, and in this video, we're going to be talking about more Arctic air that is moving in across the United States, not only for the late week period here, but also as we go into next week, another push of Arctic air. Any winter storms in this pattern, we'll update you on that, and look at the long-range forecast as well as the Climate Prediction Center has come out with their newest update on the La Nina, and we'll give you much more information on that. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up, share this video on social media with friends, family, and anybody that you know. Definitely appreciate it. Also, leave any comments, questions, concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. Looking here at the surface pressure and fronts map this morning, we definitely see that Arctic front has made its way into the mid-Atlantic and down here stationary into Kentucky and southern portions of Missouri, and that is where the Arctic air stops. So this morning, our low temperatures in the upper Midwest, Twin Cities at -7, -11s up here across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin. Those are just your air temperatures. When you factor in the wind component, that is what your wind chills will feel like, closer to -20, if not -30 degrees here below 0 Fahrenheit as we go across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin over here into the UP of Michigan this morning, with those negatives extending all the way down through Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Looking at the afternoon, here are your high temperatures, single digits and teens across parts of the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes. That's all we'll be able to muster for high temperatures this afternoon. And with the wind out there, a lot of those areas are going to still feel like below 0. Even just the single digits below 0, you want to bundle up, and definitely bundle up in a winter coat at that as you go outdoors for maybe lunch from work, or any errands that you have to run, or kids coming home from school. Make sure they're bundled up this afternoon. This cold air is going to start to depart though, as after today. Here's the cold air today, and you can see tomorrow we're going to see more of those greens, not those purples. So the cold air is going to start to lessen and depart further to the east across the Great Lakes and into southeastern Canada, the northeast U.S. Look to the west. Look at that. The orange, that is Pacific air, and Pacific air is milder air, and that is going to be moving in from west to east this weekend. So looking at the colder air departing, the northeast still chilly on Saturday, and then that warmer, milder Pacific air is going to take over the central U.S. later on this weekend by Sunday, December 15th. And looking at those highs on Friday afternoon, notice the colder air still there. Maybe not as Arctic as what we're seeing today, but still those teens and 20s for highs tomorrow afternoon on Friday. Notice we have an improvement by Saturday afternoon. 20s and 30s return to the picture, even some 40s down here across like Kentucky, southern Missouri, even West Virginia by Saturday. And then that 32-degree line, that freezing line, lifts all the way up there toward the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. And this will feel like summer compared to what we're seeing here today by Sunday. Look at the Twin Cities above freezing at 33 degrees and Chicago at 35 for Sunday afternoon. Looking at the storm reports that we saw from yesterday, we did have a severe weather chance from the Cape Cod region all the way down into the Outer Banks of the Carolinas and northeast Florida. A couple wind reports mixed in there, nothing too bad out there. Thankfully, no tornadoes yesterday. Looking ahead at the severe weather outlook today, we actually don't even have a chance for thunderstorm activity. Even garden variety storms today are really off the picture. Going into Friday, we could have some garden variety thunderstorms, level 0 out of 5 across portions there of the central southern plains, and then more of the mid and lower Mississippi Valley into the southern plains. On Saturday, we could have a couple of thunderstorms. None of those are expected to be severe over the next couple of days, so that's some good news. So tracking the precipitation going through the afternoon, we got the lake effect snow up here across the Great Lakes, maybe some lighter snow in eastern Illinois into central Indiana, maybe adding up to a dusting there. Bigger storm across the west, bringing some heavier snows to the Sierras. I mean, they're going to get crushed with snow over the next couple of days, and that's going to continue as we go through tonight. Friday, we're going to see some snow in the Sierras there. The lake effect snow snow starts to wind down there on Friday. We are watching a system on Saturday, probably Friday night, but it's going into Saturday across the middle of the country, especially up here into Iowa, southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin. That's kind of the area I'm keeping an eye on for some wintry precipitation, and that might not just be snow. We could be seeing some freezing rain and some sleet in the mix as we have that warmer air kind of battling the departure of that colder Arctic air, and that could lead to some freezing drizzle, some freezing rain and sleet up in Iowa, southern Minnesota, and western Wisconsin. The good news is that looks short-lived, so we don't expect any major ice storms or anything like that, but you can see on Sunday we have more moisture across the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies, and all over here into the Ohio Valley. That's more liquid precipitation in the form of rain for Sunday, as those notable Pacific mild temperatures will be moving across the central U.S., so no snowfall there for the Ohio Valley on Sunday. Here are the snowfall accumulations expected through Sunday night. You can see the heaviest by far out west and really the Sierras, and then you have the Great Lakes lake effect snow as well. Let's take a look at that. You can see here the lake effect snow bands: Erie, Pennsylvania, Orchard Park, Buffalo, New York, up toward Watertown, New York. Those are by far the heaviest snow bands. The lake effect snow through your Sunday could see another additional foot or two of snow there. And then looking out west, we're going to get absolutely clobbered with snow across portions of the Sierras, potentially approaching 100 inches of snow between now and Sunday night. Cascades getting a couple of feet of snow. And then over here in central Idaho, western Wyoming, and around the Salt Lake City area there in Utah, northeastern Nevada as well, could be getting several inches to around a foot of snow through your Sunday night time frame. So to break down travel impacts, the Great Lakes lake effect snow really impacting travel near Erie, Pennsylvania, Orchard Park, Buffalo, New York, up there toward Watertown, New York, on the western part of New York State. Major travel disruptions with those lake effect snow bands. Here in Iowa, the minor travel disruptions mainly for an icy mix from Friday night through Saturday midday. Could be seeing that freezing drizzle, freezing rain and sleet, keeping an eye on that. And then looking over here to the west, the Sierras, we could be seeing major, if not extreme, travel disruptions through your Sunday night, as very heavy snow clobbers this region as we go through the weekend, and that continues further north into the Cascades and also central Idaho as well. So make sure to take it slow out on those roadways. Let's look here at the northern hemispheric view of the height anomalies for next week. Very interesting in showing you how this breaks down. Notice this big red and kind of purplish, pinkish blob up here just to the north of Alaska. This is near the Arctic Circle, and what's interesting about this is that is a ridge of high pressure that's going to force a lot of that colder air to plunge south when you see a ridge north of Alaska this time of year. So next week, Monday, kind of starting off similar to this past week, where we have that mild Pacific air extending from the weekend into Monday to start the work week, but look to the northwest. British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, we start to see that Arctic air, and then almost the same exact time frame here by next Wednesday, December 18th, Arctic front comes in, and we actually could be seeing it unleash more Arctic air as we go into that Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday time frame next week by the 20th. And honestly, we don't know how much cold air there will be. We don't know how intense it'll be, how far east or south it'll go. We'll keep you updated on that, but it does look like an Arctic push of air is possible as we go into the middle and end of next week. We'll keep you updated. Will that coincide with any precipitation? Well, some of the models are kind of gearing up for maybe above normal precipitation for parts of Texas up there towards the Tennessee, Ohio River Valley on the leading edge of some of that colder air, but it looks like a lot of that will fall as rainfall as that cold air really doesn't catch up in time. The snowfall looks to pile up again from the Pacific Northwest across the northern tier of the U.S., including the Great Lakes. Yes, more lake effect snow over here to the northeast as well, and southern Canada. Looking at a white Christmas this year, typically for a white Christmas, you look for an inch or more of snow on the ground. On Christmas morning, here is the ensemble probabilities, and notice places like the Twin Cities region, Minneapolis, St. Paul, looking at roughly a 60 to 70% chance of a white Christmas. Chicago, kind of at a 50-50 right now. Cincinnati, looking at a 30% chance. Nashville, probably not looking at a white Christmas this year. And over toward New York City, we're still hanging on by a thread there around 20 to 30 30% chance of a white Christmas here. So we'll keep you updated on the white Christmas probabilities. Speaking of probabilities, the Climate Prediction Center has come out with their latest La Nina forecast here, and you can see they have increased probabilities to a 59% chance of La Nina developing here this month, increasing that to 72% as we go here into January. So we're going to see at least a weak moderate La Nina here this winter, and then looking at that, we could turn back to neutral once we get into astronomical spring. So that's just something we're going to look at longer down the road. We'll break down more of this as we go into tomorrow's video and Saturday's video as well, to help you understand what the La Nina and neutral conditions will bring this winter and even early spring season heading up over the next couple of months. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new so we can keep in touch with the weather forecast for your area. Check back often for updates. Like the video down below if you enjoyed it. Also share this video on social media with friends, family, anybody that you know. Definitely appreciate it. It goes a long way in helping out. Also leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Thursday.